How's it going, everyone? My name is Nathan Box. For those who haven't been following along, I am in the midst of practicing for the Pacific Crest Trail starting in 2020, and you're joining me today on a practice hike. I am in the San Bernardino Mountains, specifically in the San Bernardino National Forest. I'm on the sand to snow trail. It is a 19-mile point-to-point trail right outside of Big Bear. So throughout the day today, I'm gonna be capturing some video, stopping to take some photos, just trying to really watch my time and make sure that we're doing it right. I don't know how much talking I'll be doing today. I think the first 9 miles of this trail are straight uphill, doing about a 4,000 foot ascent, but so as you can tell, I'm pretty out of breath, but taking video all day, but again, probably won't be talking too much because I really let the trail and the scenery do all that for me. So all right, we're now in the San Bernardino National Forest. I do not know how to pronounce that. They told me at the Discovery Center. I've completely forgotten now. We have been climbing for a while now, starting to get into some alpine forest. As you can see from the trees, most of this is been burnt out. It's still beautiful, really haunting, but as you can see, like the grass and flowers and bushes and stuff are starting to come back, so it gives you hope that the trees will one day return as well. But so far this trail's been beautiful, a pretty challenging ascent incline coming in, so I'm excited to see where it goes next. I think we are probably heading up in that direction. All right, everyone. We're about an hour into this hike. I'm about 2.5 miles. The trail has it has leveled out considerably, but as you can see from like there, the fire damage is pretty bad here. But again, just kind of reiterate, it's still incredibly green. We here in California had a really wet winter, and it's turned into its usual dry summer, but we had a wet winter, and for these flowers and this kind of like sagebrush, whatever you want to call it, this hardier stuff is definitely already coming back. And I know forest fires are sad and nobody wants to see, like, beautiful chunks of nature burned down, but it is a natural part of things, and when it happens, this beautiful greenery comes back, and it just gives the forest kind of new life. It feels like it's starting all over again. Without a doubt, so far this has been one of my favorite hikes, in California. Definitely anything that I've done that you could consider forest. But I'm excited to see where this goes, and we'll check back in a little while. So I came across a couple of rivers, and this is the Santa Ana River you hear running next to me. I came to a split in a trail, and I think I'm going to make my way up to Dry Lake now. Well, I am calling another audible. I met these hikers and we talked about going up to Dry Lake, which wasn't my original intention, but I hike alone a lot, so hiking with someone else sounded like a great idea. But then I came to a couple of river crossings, and they were just a bit more than I wanted to do. In fact, coming out, I took a pretty good fall, and so that was just all the affirmation that I needed that I should stick to my original route. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head up to continue making my way up toward the mountain and Dollar Lake. From what I read on my trail guide, this is the steepest part of the trail. So it's going to be tough going for a little while. I think I'm going to go for another 30 minutes or so and sit down and have a break. All right. I am still climbing. The trail guide was not lying when it said this piece was steep. But I can say the good thing is that I'm starting to get above the tree line. And as you can see, it is pretty stunningly beautiful, even though most of the trees have been burnt out. So I think I'm gonna poke on for a little longer. I'm going real slow. I've slowed way down, but I'm gonna keep poking for a little bit and then find a spot to have some lunch and then get back at it. As of right now, we're about 5 miles in, so a little halfway to the turnaround point, but so far so good. All right. So I'm about 6 miles into this hike. It had been my goal to go 10 miles today and then turn around and take 10 back to the car. This hike has turned into something more challenging than I thought, and I just don't have it in me today. So I am gonna do something I don't think I've ever done without reaching the goal, which is turn around and head back to the car. Yeah, this has been an experience. I have learned a lot about pushing myself, as well as when you know you're done, you're done. You know when you're tired, you're tired. So rest, quit, call it a night. These are lessons I will definitely take with me on the PCT. Walking through fields of green feels fantastic to once again be down on rather level ground, slowly descending back toward the parking lot. Still a few miles away, but besides walking on rocks and a pair of old hiking boots, this part has been pretty easy. It's actually really stunningly green. As you can see, like, stuff is still blooming. It's a really beautiful place, on top of having like this greenery and this color next to trees that have burnt down and look sort of apocalyptic. So it's a place of how would you say it? Yeah, two ideas that are kind of like, there's some dissonance here. It's the greenery, the life, and the burnt trees seem to diametrically opposed, but they're kind of interweaving something sort of beautiful, and I'm kind of mesmerized. But I'm also glad to be down from the mountain, because that thing was